Police found THC, a vape pen, and marijuana wax in his truck.
And blood results show that Resecker had THC in his system at the time of the crash.
Driving under the influence of marijuana.
Drugs or alcohol could have played a part.
Court documents say he had marijuana in his system at the time of the wreck.
In the year 2000, the legendary rapper Afro Man released a record called Because I Got High. The record had lyrics where Afro Man was explaining how he is currently failing in life because he got high. But the good thing about these shortcomings that Afro Man was experiencing because he got high was these shortcomings weren't detrimental to the point that they landed Afro Man in prison for 65 years.
These are just some of the images Afro Man captured on his home surveillance of the raid. It's those images today that you can find on merchandise and in music videos.
But unfortunately, for Luke, it's a different damn story. On December 26, 2023, Luke was just having him another good old day in Texas. Woke up that morning, put a .5 of the finest collard greens in a gravity bone, lit up the gravity bone, and took off to the moon. After the wake and bake, Luke made himself a nice breakfast, Cocoa Puffs drizzled in chocolate milk. After he demolished those Cocoa Puffs, Luke couldn't help but notice he ain't have shit to do all day. His schedule was the opposite of his eyeballs. Clear. His schedule was clear. Luke had a whole bunch of THC and Luke had a whole bunch of time on his hands.
Morning world. Whole house smells like a garden of little trees. Break them down, tuck them in. Backwood meet broccoli, seal it with a kiss. Tastes like backyard sunshine. Even the pens rocking the broccoli logo. Love that. Clouds on clouds.
So what does a 17-year-old in Luke's position decides to do? Luke was about to get higher than a bird flying over the Grand Canyon. Smoke was about to go up like a nightclub on a Tuesday. The gravity bone was getting packed like it was going on vacation. The dab rig was rigging like it was in an oil field in South Dakota. And the THC was getting pulled like a rope in a game of tug of war. Around 3:00 p.m. that afternoon, the munchies took over. The THC gave Luke the same type of hunger that Rasputia from Norbit would have if she ain't ate all day. So you already know Luke was ready to take something down.
Whoa, is that a hot dog? I'm starving. Burger? Oh, that's beautiful. And chicken too? Man, I'm too hungry for this. Come here. What? It just vanished. I'm losing. My stomach's yelling at me. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, he could have made some food at home. Yeah, he could have ordered some DoorDash. But nah, Luke decided to drive. He was high as hell, and the thought of him cruising in that Chevy Silverado, blasting NBA Youngboy high as a kite was the type of good time Luke was not about to pass up.
Morning world. You smell like toast and possibility. Broccoli got me floating. Let's ride. Windows down, sun up, perfect soundtrack. Volume. Yeah, that's it. Let's roll out slow and loud.
So he grabs his truck keys, he grabs his THC pen, and a couple of dabs for the road. Now while Luke was preparing to hit the road, a family of 7 that was on a family trip at the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center was also preparing to get on the road. They was making their way back home. But unfortunately for that family of 7, they ain't make it back home. The family of 7 was headed down US Highway 67 near Claiborne, Texas. Then out of nowhere, a Chevy Silverado veered into oncoming traffic. Then tragedy struck.
Morning, little forest. You taste like sunshine.
Police say it was a teenager driving on Highway 67, causing the head-on collision. That teenager now facing multiple charges.
Texas DPS announced charges against Luke Resecker, seen here in a driver's license photo for the December crash in Johnson County. Court documents say he had marijuana in his system at the time of the wreck.
Luke Resecker, who was 17 at the time of that crash that happened the day after Christmas, crossed over into the wrong lane of traffic in his pickup truck while driving south on Highway 67 in Johnson County, slamming head-on into the family's minivan.
Garrett was driving under the influence of marijuana when he crossed the center line and hit a minivan. Police found THC, a vape pen, and marijuana wax in his truck.
Luke struck that family of 7, leaving only one survivor, and just like that, Luke has officially became the epitome of the song Because I Got High by Afro Man, except in the most controversial way known to mankind. 19-year-old Luke was sentenced to 65 years in prison after a crash in Johnson County, Texas, claiming 6 lives, including 2 children, and left a passenger with a traumatic brain injury. Authorities say Luke was behind the wheel of a Chevy Silverado when he swerved into the oncoming lane at around 4 p.m. on December 26, 2023 and slammed into a Honda Odyssey minivan carrying a family. CBS reported that the victims had spent the day at Fossil Rim Wildlife Center in Glen Rose, Texas with a friend of the family, telling the network that they were on their way home when the fatal crash occurred. Authorities say Luke was under the influence of THC when it happened. Authorities located THC wax, marijuana, and a vape pen inside the vehicle. One survivor of the crash was left paralyzed from the waist down, and the passenger in the Silverado suffered a traumatic brain injury. A toxicology report confirmed active THC in Luke's system. He was initially charged with the following: intoxication manslaughter, 6 counts, intoxication assault, 2 counts, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of marijuana. ADAs Stephanie Miller and Connor Day called the crash a sobering reminder of the irreversible consequences of impaired and reckless driving.
We spoke with loved ones of the victims in that second vehicle who are all family visiting for the holidays.
She was very much interested into painting. She used to draw a lot.
The last painting.
Each and every painting things as a Christmas gift. All the things he just bought for her.
From one dreamer to another.
He used to think always about tomorrow, not about today.
Always looking ahead, always putting family first.
It's so hard to take, like, he's my half. He's my half.
Bari's cousin Lokesh was visiting from Georgia with his son and daughter, who were 9 and 10, his wife, and his wife's parents visiting from India.
When you have intoxication manslaughter with THC listed, it's a little different from alcohol. Defense attorneys often employ a strategy in intoxication by marijuana cases is to put forth, well, my client's a regular user of marijuana, therefore these levels could be built up over time, and it's not inaccurate at the time he was driving. He was very young, lack of criminal history, flight risk, lack of flight risk will all factor into that.
This situation is tragic for everyone involved. A man lost 6 of his family members and suffered life-threatening injuries and will never walk again. And Luke, who was only 17 years old at the time, was just being young and dumb, like everybody else was when they was young. He made a stupid decision, but he ain't mean no harm. Unfortunately, the mistake he made has some real deal life-altering consequences. That 65-year sentence didn't come from Luke's criminal past or his character. It came from the simple fact that 6 people's lives were lost. The judge had no choice but to cook up some major justice. Now at 19 years old, he will spend the majority of his life in prison until he is in his late 80s. One easily avoidable mistake ruined 2 people's lives and ended 6 people's lives. Luke gotta live with this guilt behind them prison walls for 65 years.